Man, it's been way too long. Let's see if I still got it. Cue the intro.
What's going on, Flight fam? This is your captain speaking, and welcome back aboard Flight 4080. And the reason why I said welcome back is because it's been a while since I actually updated this channel. So, with that being said, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Malik, and you probably thought that I was putting in a Jay-Z reference, but I wasn't by any stretch of the means. However, I am a YouTuber from New York, and I love to document my travels everywhere I go. And for the most part, it's been mainly the US, and the last time you saw a video on this channel, it was the LA Chronicles documenting my time in Los Angeles, California. However, this time, I guess you can call this a world's first because I haven't seen anybody make a video about this. It is a specific flight and a special flight for me, and it was for a special occasion. But I'll get to that in a much later date. However, let's go back to April 28th, 2022. Yeah, the last time I made a video was documenting my time in 2019. So, it's been a very long time. So let's see if I still got it. However, enjoy the video. Yes, the one thing that every single av geek dreads, the cancellation. Yes, so I'll be flying over to Wakanda today, but United has given me the wahala, why not? But I guess I've given away the hint. I will not be going to Wakanda today, but it kind of feels like Wakanda in a sense. But I'll be flying over to Lagos, Nigeria on this day, the 28th of April, like I've said before, of 2022. The only problem is that I'm gonna have to go through a slight detour, and that's a story within itself. Well, I got downgraded to a CRJ 550, which means that I had to go from Terminal C all the way to Terminal A. The flight time to Washington Reagan National Airport took around 40 minutes, and the registration of this aircraft in particular, November 573 Golf Juliet. So this is an aircraft that's registered under GoJet. The flight was uneventful, but when I got to Washington Reagan, you do understand that I had to go over to Dulles. So even though I had to pay my Uber fare going there on that day, United did compensate me for that. So big ups to you, United. Thank you so much for the customer service. But this is not the premise of the video. We are here to experience, in my personal view, the best business class product that the United States has to offer. United Polaris. So as soon as I ran over to Dulles International Airport and went through security again, it was time for me to go to the lounge and have a second round of champagne and at least have something to eat. But even though I did enjoy my time at the Polaris lounge, it wasn't as much as I would want to, just due to the fact that I was already running late. I had to run down to the gate, and oh boy. If you know one thing about Lagos, Nigeria bound flights, you do know that there's a lot of commotion going on, everybody trying to go by the gate, try to board first, even though there are boarding groups every single time. So after some people vex, gist, and push as if they were celebrities in Big Brother Niger trying to get on the plane first, my boarding group was called, and it was time for me to board this beautiful bird, the Boeing 787-8. Now here's some seating information about this aircraft. Where I'm sitting is the business class cabin, known as Polaris, which there's a 1-2-1 configuration. In premium economy, it's 2-3-2, so you have a little bit more legroom and space than in economy. You do have the extra legroom portion of economy, which I believe is the first 3 to 4 rows, and then after that, you have your typical 787 configuration in economy class of 3-3-3. My seat on tonight's flight will be 6 Lima or 6L. Another reason that I chose this seat, which is also another tip, is the fact that it's closer to the window in terms of where you're sitting in the seat, and you actually got a lot more room in the footwell. But most importantly, that engine and wing view. Oh my god. And yes, you can tell that I'm really excited because I'm already playing around with the bed and controls, and the bed is actually pretty comfortable. However, it can be a little bit snug around the shoulders. But if you're a side sleeper like me, that's not going to be a problem. But let's take a little bit of a seat tour. So you do have a nice big infotainment screen, and it's really clear, very high definition. It's touchscreens, by the way, but if you don't want to use the screen, you have a remote right on the left side of you. In these suites, you have a nice big area where you can put anything from your tablet all the way up to drinks, as well as a nice little storage cubby to place your phone or any other smaller electronics or devices. But after I had done trek for most of the day, I believe it's time for us to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. I'll turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. So with the fasten seatbelt sign turned off, let's get into some facts about tonight's flight. Tonight's flight is United Flight 612, operated by a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner that is 8 years old. The registration of this beautiful bird is November 28912. And an interesting fact about this specific aircraft is that it was originally ordered by Continental Airlines before they merged with United Airlines. We took off from runway 30 at Dulles before making a nice right turn and flying parallel to Washington, D.C., heading over to Chesapeake Bay before climbing to our cruising altitude of 39,000 feet over the beautiful blue Atlantic with some pretty calm skies with a beautiful cloud layer. After about 6 to 7 hours in the air, we finally flew over our first country of Africa, which was Senegal, then Gambia, then a small piece of Guinea-Bissau, then Guinea, then turning left directly over Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire, then right over Ghana, Togo, Benin, before making our final approach into Murtala Mohammad International Airport in Lagos. The flight time on tonight's flight was a nice 9 hours and 46 minutes. I will have to say that this was actually one of my best flights that I've ever taken. The wonderful flight attendant that was in charge of my cabin was absolutely amazing. She was absolutely fantastic and provided some of the best service that I've ever received in disguise. And after providing me the typical and classic starter of warm nuts and wine, I actually had a nice little conversation with her about the reason why I was taking this trip, and she was pretty fascinated about it as well. She took my order for dinner, and I proceeded to start to watch a movie. I believe I was watching Spider-Man No Way Home, if I'm not mistaken. Typical me, I do love Marvel movies, but there was a huge abundance of entertainment within United's infotainment system, so again, that is another thumbs up for me. But as I was watching my movie, I decided to take a look at the amenity kit, and it's stocked with a whole bunch of different goods. Of course, you have your typical eye mask, toothbrush, toothpaste, a beautiful and high quality pair of non-slip socks that are branded in Polaris, with the additions of lip balm, face cream, and facial mist, all provided by Sunday Riley. And after the long day I had, I definitely needed to moisturize my hands, and it actually did smell pretty good. Right, but with that out of the way, I think it's time for me to get back to my movie and await the continuation of the dinner service. And after a little bit of time, dinner is served. There was a choice between chicken or beef, but I went for the beef short ribs, which came with a little bit of carrots. I believe there was zucchini in there, mashed potatoes, a nice little side salad, and a pretzel-style dinner roll. And I must say, it was actually pretty damn good. Oh, excuse my manners, I forgot to bless the food. And as I continue to dig in and enjoy my dinner, I really do love United salt and pepper shakers, which is actually modeled after the globe, and if you are a longtime airline enthusiast like myself, this is a beautiful homage over to Continental Airlines. But to be honest with you, the salt shaker actually did look like the Death Star from Star Wars. But due to the long day of trekking and stress and vex and wahala, I asked the lovely flight attendant for another meal just to see if they had any leftovers, and there was, and it was a chicken option. The chicken option wasn't that bad actually as well. But when you're really hungry, you'll eat any damn thing. I'll just say that much. But all credits to catering for the beautiful meals. After the meal service was done, I went back to watching some movies and decided that it was bedtime at that point. I was already tired from the long and stressful day that I had, but I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, and oh my gosh, I had a nice long amount of sleep. I probably slept for about 5 hours, and by that time we were right over Senegal. So let me go change out of my shirt, because with every new day, you need a fresh start. And just like the shirt says, I'm feeling pretty damn confident today. And to boost my morale and to wake up even further, I need a nice, beautiful cup of coffee. So an hour before the final descent into Lagos, my fantastic flight attendant friend began the breakfast service in swift fashion. I opted for the French toast with fruit, just like the rest of the flight, and the absolutely incredible service. It was fantastic. 45 minutes after completing my meal, it was time to start our descent into Lagos on a very humid yet beautiful day. So as we're coming into land and seeing this nice beautiful approach into Lagos, let's get into how much I actually paid for this flight. Since I was flying United on the way back but in economy, I paid $2,064.17, in which the business class portion of this itinerary was around $1,400. Seeing that it was a connection flight from Newark, and with that being a part of the Polaris experience, the total distance traveled in my itinerary was 5,833 miles, which works out to 24 cents per mile. Now, if you know anything about Lagos, Nigeria flights, they don't come cheap whatsoever at times. However, I did get a fare lock, which is something that United Airlines is known for, and I really do appreciate them having that. I actually booked it back in March, and I saw the fare in the later weeks of February, and they would hold the fare for only $20 for 14 days before you're ready to purchase it. So to all Nigerians and tourists that are based here in the US, I feel like United Airlines is a pretty good competitor in this market. Just out of the gate, you have one of the best business class products that I've ever experienced in the United States, period. And even though you have other competitors such as Qatar Airways, Emirates, British Airways, Lufthansa, Air France, KLM, and Turkish, as well as Virgin Atlantic and Delta Airlines, and let me add Kenya Airways and Ethiopian to the mix as well. In terms of a quicker and seamless transition, United is actually preferable. Compete against Delta in terms of the Lagos, Nigeria market. Delta flies out of New York JFK and Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, while United only flies out of Washington Dulles. So all in all, I will definitely be flying with United on this route again sometime in the future. I would like to take the time for thanking you for tuning into this video. I know it's been a very long time since I made a video, but I'm glad to be back. And if you've flown to Lagos, Nigeria, or Nigeria in general, what is your favorite airline to use? Post it in the comment section below. And ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to our destination. Thanks for tuning into Flight 4080, and as always, keep climbing.